Listen closely, because this is where most men don't even realize they've been cornered. Stability is a prize. It's a currency. And the moment you find yourself chasing it instead of receiving it naturally, you've already lost position. You're no longer leading in the dynamic. You're no longer the center. You're no longer in control. You're reacting. You're chasing. You're validating. And that, my friend, is weakness disguised as concern. Understand this immediately. A man who has position does not chase. He receives. He maintains. He commands. He does not scramble to preserve a foundation that should have been offered freely. If stability has to be begged for, it is not stability, it's a reward for submission. And once a man submits to chase what should be his by default, he's no longer a partner, he's a pursuer. Let's break this down. Stability isn't just comfort. It's consistency, reliability, alignment, and presence. And in any interaction, these qualities either exist or they don't. They're not negotiable. They're not dependent on begging or pleading. They are a demonstration of respect for your value, your boundaries, and your frame. When she makes you chase them, she is testing the limits of your tolerance, your patience, and your authority. She is asking, how much will you compromise to feel secure? How far will you bend to maintain calm? How willing are you to sacrifice position for comfort? Chasing stability is a trap. It starts subtly. Maybe she disappears emotionally for a day or two, and you feel tension. Maybe she contradicts herself, and you find yourself explaining. Maybe she withdraws affection, and you scramble to provide reassurance. Maybe she is inconsistent with attention, and you're left guessing. At first, it feels like small imbalances. Harmless, even. But every time you adjust to accommodate the instability, you are giving up leverage. Every time you overcorrect to maintain peace, you are weakening your position. Let me be clear. Position is everything. Position is internal, not external. It's the ground you stand on regardless of behavior, circumstance, or energy around you. When your position is intact, chaos around you does not shake you. When your position is lost, even small disturbances feel like earthquakes. Chasing stability is a symptom of lost internal ground. It is a man attempting to reclaim what he has already surrendered by responding to unpredictability instead of commanding consistency. Here's the reality most men don't want to hear. The moment you chase stability, you teach the other person how to treat you. You teach them that your peace is negotiable. You teach them that your calm is contingent. You teach them that your attention is earned through patience, not deserved through presence. Once that lesson is learned, it becomes a cycle. Inconsistency is repeated. Withdrawal is normalized. Your reaction becomes predictable, and your position permanently compromised. The strong man reacts differently. The strong man recognizes instability for what it is, an invitation to assert presence, not an excuse to chase. He does not scramble. He does not plead. He does not negotiate peace through effort. He stands. He observes. He enforces boundaries without apology. He matches energy with equilibrium. That is position. That is authority. That is magnetic power. Chasing stability flips the dynamic instantly. The man is no longer the arbiter of his own experience. He becomes the responder, constantly adjusting to the emotional climate dictated by someone else. He sacrifices frame to maintain comfort. And comfort is illusory when it requires compromise at the cost of authority. Think about it. Who wins when a man chases stability? Not the man. The one in control benefits. The one who controls energy, attention, and presence dictates the rhythm. They pull, they release, they measure, they test. And the man chasing? He reacts, he compensates, he hopes. Hope is weak. Reactivity is weak. Submission is weak. Position is power. Losing position is losing the game. You must understand this deeply. Stability should never be a pursuit. It is either offered freely by those aligned with your presence, or it is a mirage. When stability becomes contingent on your response, your effort, your attention, or your emotional labor, you have left the throne and stepped into the arena. And in that arena, you fight to regain footing instead of commanding the room. The most dangerous part of chasing stability is that it feels righteous. You tell yourself, I just want peace. You rationalize your efforts. I'm only trying to maintain harmony. But rationalization is a mask for compromise. Compromise without agency erodes your frame. Chasing stability is a mask for chasing validation, and validation is borrowed power. Borrowed power never sustains you. It only prolongs exposure to instability. When she makes you chase stability, you are being trained, conditioned to accept volatility, conditioned to adjust behavior, conditioned to overinvest in calm moments, conditioned to reward manipulation with attention. And every time you do it, the cycle reinforces itself. The more you chase, the less leverage you hold. The more you chase, the weaker your energy becomes. The more you chase, the more you signal that position is optional. A man with position does not chase. He receives clarity. He receives alignment. He receives stability as a natural consequence of boundaries, consistency, and self-respect. When it is absent, he does not chase it, he evaluates whether alignment exists. He decides whether the energy he's investing is worth the return. That decision comes from a grounded center, not from fear, hope, or anxiety. Chasing stability is a reactive posture. Remaining grounded and unmoved is proactive. Reactive posture signals neediness. Proactive posture signals sovereignty. A man who understands this never asks for calm. He creates it by enforcing his own boundaries. He never pleads for predictability. He commands it by standing firm. He does not chase security. He embodies it. Understand this clearly. If you are chasing stability, you are already out of position. You are already vulnerable. You are already negotiating with someone who may not respect your internal ground. Every moment you chase is a moment spent reinforcing their leverage. Every explanation, every apology, every adjustment teaches them that your frame is pliable. And once pliable, it becomes easy to test, easy to manipulate, easy to control. Men who reclaim position do so by observing patterns, recognizing conditioning, and refusing to engage in reactive cycles. They step back. They reduce investment where consistency is absent. They maintain composure in the face of unpredictability. They do not overcompensate. They do not overgive. They match energy with equilibrium. That is discipline. That is power. That is regaining position. Let me break it down even further. The moment you stop chasing stability, two things happen. One, the dynamic changes. She can no longer rely on your reaction to manipulate outcomes. Two, your nervous system stabilizes. You're no longer in constant anticipation, scanning for withdrawal, measuring moods, analyzing gestures. You're no longer playing defense. You are now choosing your response instead of reacting to theirs. That is position regained. That is authority restored. A man in position does not live for external validation. He does not scramble to preserve emotional balance dictated by someone else. He does not negotiate presence or peace. He exists with clarity, with consistency, with discipline. And when others align with him, naturally, stability emerges organically. It is not forced. It is not conditioned. It is a reflection of respect and alignment, not a reward for chasing. Chasing stability is a trap disguised as care. It is a slow erosion of sovereignty. It teaches men to subordinate their internal compass to someone else's rhythm. It replaces leadership with reaction. It replaces self-respect with hope. And every hope fulfilled through compromise is another brick removed from the foundation of authority. A grounded man does not chase. He evaluates. He distances when necessary. He reduces investment where stability is absent. He matches energy with equilibrium. He observes patterns. He measures alignment. He responds from sovereignty, not anxiety. He maintains internal rhythm regardless of external turbulence. That is position. That is power. That is freedom. Remember this deeply. If she makes you chase stability, you have already lost position. The moment you recognize it, the moment you act, the moment you stop chasing, you reclaim authority. You regain leverage. You restore frame. You reclaim your internal ground. And nothing else matters until that foundation is solid. Before you go, take this seriously. This channel exists for men who are done losing position, done chasing validation, done surrendering frame to uncertainty. If this message sharpened your awareness, if it reminded you who you are and what you must defend, then act like a man who owns his space. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to stay grounded, disciplined, and aware. This isn't entertainment. This is survival, sovereignty, and power. Stay sharp, stay centered, and never forget, if she makes you chase stability, you have lost position.